Hey, Money Rags here. Hey guys, I had a posted yesterday except for something come up. Family, family thing. I can't get into it or anything like that. But I do want to give a big shout out to Her Daily Dose. Her Daily Dose is awesome. Her reactions are pure, awesome. Uh, you can't get any more genuine than that. I don't endorse things that I don't believe in because uh, I just can't do it. I will never endorse a product or people or a place that I don't believe in. But Her Daily Dose is absolutely genuine. I love listening to the music that she has, and even when I don't care for the style that she's listening to at that time, her reactions are priceless. Her input is priceless. Uh, but I do like most of um, all of her stuff. Uh, she's just awesome. And please, by no means, if I ever say anything um, to upset anybody, I personally say that I'm sorry. These are my opinions and do not reflect the opinions of anybody who subscribes to me or says anything good about me. It, and to be honest, the things that I think today may or may not change tomorrow. It's part of my affliction that is way off and left base somewhere. Um, I'm going to address a couple of comments because people want to know. Um, Number one, ooh, it's a little windy out here today. Get ready for storms. Anyway, uh, I wear a tinfoil hat. People wonder why I call them tinfoil hat. The whole tinfoil hat is, and believe me, I know some of my things are way out there and are not necessarily true, but they still are what I think for the most part, and is some of it's crazy. They had to take it with a grain of salt. I believe that aliens and or the government can listen to or control what I'm thinking. That's the schizophrenia, paranoia part of me. Uh, like I said before, I check under my truck. I watch license plates. I watch everybody that comes by. I take note of the license plates. I'm extremely paranoid. Like I said, the town's probably 20 miles from here, and I'm probably make that trip three times a month, three maybe four. Uh, it's just uh, I don't do it very often. I said, well, when you go into town, do you wear your tinfoil hat? Of course not. That would be silly. I have another hat. No, and I don't wear that either. It's a uh, I have a baseball cap that has tinfoil in it, and so people don't take too much notice. Uh, with the help of medication and everything, I can, unlike some paranoids, schizophrenics, that I have a little bit of grasp of reality. I know some of the things that I think are way out there and bizarre and one in a billion, but in my mind, that I can be that one in a billion that is being watched or controlled thoughts or uh, being just all of that. So I'm very careful. It takes me a long time to upload videos. Um, I record outside, so as to not most people don't know where I'm at, and uh, I do it here, and then I have to upload it, and uploading like a 20-minute video takes 15 hours, and then I watch all the rest of my stuff on in a different area. There's a one spot in my house because I live down in a valley. I'm surrounded by trees, so I don't get any reception, even cell phone, satellite, all that is really, really poor out here. But so it takes 15 hours to upload a video that's 20 minutes long. So if it takes time for me to get back to you, it's not because I don't want to. It's because there's only like a 5 foot by 5 foot section inside of my house that we even get any kind of cell phone reception. So I have it designed that way. So I apologize in advance that it takes so long. I was asked about Saint Bernard, and I have 5 Saint Bernards. The oldest being 9. I have 2 9-year-olds, a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 1.5 years old. The one you see in the video is the 1.5 years old. He's still young and doesn't mind being outside in the warm weather, whereas the older ones, they're inside in the air conditioning. We have one room that's set at 68 degrees, which they lounge in most of the time because they love the cold weather. So I have the 5 Saint Bernards, and then I have the Great Pyrenees Shepherd mix, is the one that you hear in the background a lot. He barks, and he's chasing gophers, squirrels, snakes, stuff like that. I usually leave like the black snakes alone, but we have copperheads out here, and they're prevalent, and he takes care of the copperheads so they don't bite my Saint Bernards. And he's 13 years old. The Saint Bernards then weigh. I have the 1 9-year-old weighs about 210 pounds. The other 9-year-old weighs about 150 pounds. The 7-year-old, she's more of a miniature Saint Bernard. She was born really, really small, and she was lucky to live and all that. Anyways, she weighs right around 100 pounds. The 5-year-old, I think she's 5. Anyway, the 5-year-old, she weighs like 170. She's mama's girl big time. And she has food issues. Well, all the dogs that we have some sort of issue because, long story short, we had a sanctuary for a little while, and it became too expensive and we couldn't do it anymore. Then we have our smallest one, our youngest one at 1.5 years, and he's probably 150, 160. But he's going to be an extremely big boy. He's already taller than the 9-year-old, and when he finally fills out and quits running around like a little puppy, he'll be a big boy. Now, most people, I got a comment that don't like the meatloaf because of school, and I understand that because I went to school with the same tasteless meatloaves and stuff like that. I had to learn to make things better, and I agree with the mac and cheese thing. Some people love mac and cheese. I don't like it. I end up eating it 3 or 4 times a month because it's inexpensive and just that. But I don't care. I don't care for mac and cheese. My wife likes it a little bit more than I do. As for a chili recipe, well, I want you to try this. I want you to try making your chili the best you can, the way you normally do. You might want to add a pinch more salt and a can of your favorite salsa, your dipping salsa for your chips and stuff that has really good flavor, whether it be hot, mild, or medium. Add a jar of that, or if you make a big pot, add 2 jars and let that simmer down. And I find that brings a real pop to things, to a real pop flavor. And when we can, that's what we do. And I don't use tomato paste or tomato soup or anything like that when I'm cooking chili or stuff like that, I use ketchup. It's a little bit sweeter. That's why I add a little bit more salt. Um, so you get the sweet and salty taste. And then you get the, the fresh herbs and stuff like that from your salsa. And like I said, your favorite salsa is the best to use because it's just great. Um, let me see. Then there's uh, I said, please don't judge anybody um, by who subscribes to me or who endorses me or anything else by my own opinions. These are my own opinions, and do not reflect on them. Um, I am definitely afraid of the government and stuff like that. It's quite a bit of a contrast to a lot of different things. But my wife is extremely, I find her extremely gorgeous, and how she puts up with all of my craziness, I'll never know. And trust me, there's a lot of crazy that goes on, and not just with under the truck, and just to remind me when to do things and when to cook, because I'll forget. Without her, I probably would never eat. Thank goodness she reminds me of those things. It's just crazy. If you ever see me stop a video and restart it, it's not because I'm editing it or anything. It's because one of my neighbors might drive by, and for their privacy, I stopped the video. It's not that I'm ashamed of who I am. My neighbors know who I am, and are good about that. Somebody said, why don't you plant a garden? Well, in the part of the state that I live in is really super rocky. I mean, very little grows out here except for wheat and hay that the farmers use. And like I said, I live out in the country, and I've even brought my land up almost 2 feet with the different rock and dirt and soil, so that see, that's Aspen. That's my Great Pyrenees Shepherd Mix. So that Aspen, that's enough. So that like I said, we live in a valley, so when it rained, it would wash. You would think it would wash the dirt down, but it stopped. The dirt stopped at my neighbor's yard, and it would wash all my dirt out. So I had to haul in the rocks and stuff. So get back to planting. This next coming up year, we plan on planting. I plan on putting above ground planters and having some more dirt hauled in, along with some mulch and stuff like that. That will make things a whole lot easier as far as planting. And I will grow peppers and cucumbers, tomatoes, a bunch of other things. There's a lot of room out here that I can do that. I live on about an acre of land. My house is a little bit broken down thing, but I love it. I have lived in the city. I've gone to college. I've lived in the city, not here in Oklahoma, but in California. I lived in big houses and everything, and nothing compares to my little house. That is about half the size of the one in California. But I live on a dead-end dirt road out in the middle of the country. Not bothered by a lot of people, and people aren't bothered by me. So that society is probably better off that I don't live in a big city, because then I couldn't relax and stuff like that. At any time you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them. I will greatly address them. Probably not in private, but I will address them for the most part on here, so that everybody can understand. I've never had comments before. Thank you for the comments. Thank you to Her Daily Dose. It's been wonderful that you would even pay any attention. Oh, and somebody's asked about my glasses. Okay. Number one, I'm like 50 years old. I have lots of bags under my eyes due to hard living when I was a teenager and into my 20s. Straightened out in my 30s and 40s, and enjoying my 50s as much as I can. And then about 5 years ago, I had a stroke that affected the left side, and so the one eye socket droops. It's not that I'm vain or anything. It's that you shouldn't be distracted by that, and being distracted by the hat and glasses is enough. Anyway, yeah. And the other reason for the glasses is to keep some sort of anonymity for me, not just for me, but for my kids as well. And then they had to grow up with me, and sometimes the community isn't near as understanding when your dad's out there. And between me and my wife, we have 8 kids. So, but as I've gotten older and as they've gotten older, my neighbors and everybody have become way more accepting, because they know that for the most part, as long as I'm even keeled, that I'm not going to be a danger to other people and myself, because I try to live stress-free out here, and so that's part of the reason for the glasses, is so they don't have to go through the whole people pointing at them and I seen your dad and he's a whack job, and I am a whack job, and that's okay. I don't mind being a whack job. And we're all crazy somehow, and for those that don't think you are, I've taken up your slack, and that's okay. Aspen, I'm trying to talk here. Shh. Thank you, buddy. He can do that all day. Aspen, leave the snake alone. Come over here. Come here. Come here. Aspen, come here. He doesn't want to come here. Anyway, I was going to do what Chaps by Chaps thing today, except for I just want to everybody to be focused on this. I promise from now on I'm going to upload videos almost on a daily, but remember it takes me almost 15 hours to upload a 20-minute video. I love all of you guys. I've got 10 subscribers. Yes. So I'm excited about that. I really wasn't even counting on 1 or 2, but to have 10 is phenomenal. And I love you guys. I hope you guys stay around and be good to other people. Be good to yourselves. And if you're on medication, stay on it. It's important. Money rings. Peace.